Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Les McCurdy!
Oh, yeah. I had a great day today. Did you? Play with my little grandson. That's a great day, man. His name is Zayden. Correct? Not a name. It's not. It's not a name. Go to any tourist place in the world, try to find that license plate. There is no Zayden. I'll tell you how that happened. My daughter is a millennial, so she's at home, mine. And, no, I'm just teasing. I bought her a house. But I come to find out that millennials like unique names for their kids. I did not know that. That's not a unique thing either. That happened when I was young, too. Hippies, remember? Yeah. When we were growing up, there were kids running around with names like Sunbeam and Moon Unit and Panama Red, Sensimelia, Tony. The Italians don't change. They keep us grounded. So she was going to name him Jaden, and she didn't realize that was a pretty common name. But she found out pretty quickly that it was. And so she ditched it. So she was talking to her favorite cousin, my oldest niece, up in Tennessee. And she was telling her, you know, I had a name for the baby, but it's not. And so my niece goes, what was it? And she goes, Jaden. And my niece goes, Aiden, Baden, Caden, Faden, Hayden. She's on medication. Laden, Maiden, Naden, Zayden. And as soon as she got to Zayden, my daughter was like, I love it. I love it. I'm telling you, you did it. You named my son. How cool is that? So she immediately calls her mother, my wife. I'm on the other side of this conversation. So all I hear is, and my wife go, oh, hi, honey. What? Oh, you have a name for the baby? Oh, that's so good. What is it? What I didn't hear was my daughter go, Zayden. What I did hear was my wife go, Satan. Now, that sounds completely absurd that anyone would even think that someone would name a child Satan. Unless you happen to have known my daughter between the age of 14 and 17. I think there's a tattoo to prove it. If you ain't tatted up now, you're the odd man out, aren't you? Everybody's got the tats now, all inked up. I had a guy sitting on the front row one night, about where you are, sir. He had a tattoo that was really prominent. I noticed it right back because it went up his neck and out on his face. That face commitment. And it went all the way down. I could see everything because he was wearing one of those, those sleeveless T-shirts. You know, we used to call them tank tops, but you don't call them tank tops anymore, right? You call them wife beaters. We all know that. Ain't that crazy? We call them wife beaters. You know why we call them wife beaters? Because the show Cops, which they film a lot of right up the road in Tampa. So often when they show up for a domestic violence situation, the guy's wearing that shirt. So much so that they have called them wife beaters. And we know it. It's like, I got a picture of a guy going, I'm gonna kick your ass, bitch. But I gotta change. Get into my proper wife-beating attire. So anyway, this guy's wearing this. And the tattoo, like I say, it's running down his neck. I even see it goes up on his ear, side of his face, down his arm, all the way out on his fingers, and it's individual characters. And I look at him, I was like, that's impressive, man. What is that? And he goes, it's Arabic, dude. I go, cool. You speak Arabic? He goes, no. I go, do you read Arabic? He goes, mm-mm. So I said, that says I'm a dumbass on your arm. He goes, I don't know. Sure. Did not know. So then, just about 4 or 5 days later, I run into a friend of mine who's a tattoo artist. And I asked her, I said, hey, the Arabic lettering, is that just cool? She goes, yeah, that and the Asian. I said, but it's a letter. I said, when they have that put on their body forever, don't they want something meaningful written on there? She goes, about half the time. I said, so how often they walk out of your shop with I'm a dickhead written on them? She goes, about half the time. Yeah. I will tell my grandson, know your letters. Know your letters. People always ask me what my grandfather handle is. You know, it's the normal stuff. Grandma, grandpa, grandfather, grandmother, abuelo, abuela. And then there's the made-up ones, too. Many of you may have a grandparent that has a made-up name. Yeah, maybe. But, you know, and we know where that comes from, right? The baby who doesn't speak yet, right? Babbles some incoherent crap, but does it repetitively. You want to play golf Saturday? Nah, I can't, man. We're going over to Goop Goop and Bop Bops. Goop's making chicken and Bop needs some help in the shed. My grandmother was that way. My grandmother was B. B. It's all I ever heard her called as a child, B. We called her B. Her own children called her B. Go to a social event, church, B. Her name was Gladys. We're not a bright culture, is what I'm saying. When we get older, and this is an older community here in Sarasota, it's great. It's great. We made it. One thing we don't like. We don't like change when we get older. We don't like change. And there is a massive change that has been going on here, and I've come to find out it's spreading all across this country. Major change. Traffic circles. Yes. We don't like it. No, we don't, because it's not our fault. It's not our fault. You know, some reason in this country, a long time ago, we decided to do stop and go at intersections. Stop, go, okay? That's how we've always done it. Now, it's not efficient. Traffic circles are. Traffic circles are a continuum, right? If you do it right, it's merge and flow, merge and flow, merge and flow. Right? But you have offered this to a population base, especially here in Sarasota, that has not merged nor flowed well in over a decade. Not without medication. And you need a merge medication and a flow medication, ladies and gentlemen. Viagra, Metamucil, merge, flow. And I have a public service announcement for you now. Do not take your Viagra with your Metamucil. You will poop your erection, is what will happen. I take Viagra. I'll tell you how that happened. I was 59, getting ready to turn 60. I was meeting with my doctor, having my physical. He's a little older than me. We're at the consultation part of the physical. So we're in there going over everything. And I remembered I'd been meaning to ask him. I said, hey, Doc, what is the damn hoopla on this Viagra, Cialis, Levitra? You can't turn on the damn television for 5 minutes without seeing a daggone commercial. He goes, it's good. I go, yeah? He goes, yeah. I said, do you take it? He goes, yeah. At that point, my doctor consultation turned into a drug deal. You got any of that shit? He's like, yeah. I said, okay, what we got to do? Go out by the dumpster to work this out? How do we do it? He goes, I'll just give you some samples to try. So he did. It's good. Oh, yeah, man. And I'll tell you something, I meet guys now, you know, over 60, and sometimes in conversation I will ask, have you ever tried it? There's two answers. First answer is, yes. It's very quick and curt. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, just like a dog wanting something to eat. Yes. Or, no, don't need it. Okay, fair enough. That's what I thought. Let me tell you something. If you're over 60 and you say you don't need it, you have not tried it. Because as soon as you do, you're going to be like, fuck, I needed this. Wow. Woo, man. Holy mackerel. Because let me tell you something. Every man, God love you, if you live long enough, is going to get to a point of his life. And that point of your life can vary 10 to 20 years with some guys, but by God, you're going to get there. And here's the deal. At that point of your life, it's not like you still can't physically make everything happen. Oh, you still can on your own. It's not like on your own you still can't physically perform the activity. Oh, you still can on your own. But at that point of your life, if you're doing it on your own with no assistance whatsoever, you better stay focused. Focused on the task at hand. You lose concentration and the whole thing goes to hell in a handbasket. Yeah. You pop a Viagra, you can let your mind wander. You can be in the middle of it all thinking, how did I miss that 2-foot putt today? While your mind wanders, you're staying firm to the hole, which is why you missed the fucking putt. You know, Viagra came out at about the turn of the century. And when it first came out, I don't know if you remember this, it was $80 a pill. $80 a pill. I'll tell you, man, even if I'd have needed it back then, I just don't think I can think that highly of myself. $80 erection? Let me tell you something. If I've got an $80 erection, I want everybody on board. Yeah, much less the recipient of this 5-star erection. You know how much Viagra is now? $1. Buck. You know where I get mine? Costco. Yes, Costco. And the last time I picked up the prescription, BOGO. Look at BOGO. 50 cents. Shitting me. It's so cheap now, I just put it in as a daily supplement. Vitamin V, I call it. I am ready all day, every day. I got a little chub going right now. Ready to pounce. Oh, God. We're a drug culture. We are. Baby boomers started it. I experienced something this year traveled a lot this summer, and that I'd never experienced before in my entire life. 7 states in one country where I could walk in off the street into a shop and buy a pot like you'd buy a beer. It was incredible. It really was. Finally kind of getting there, you know. You know? And I tell you, we always thought it would be legal. You know, we're the boomers. We're the one that proliferated pot in this country. We're it. You know, it was actually first jazz artists in the 40s, but they didn't bring enough. They didn't. Hippies brought a lot and they shared. But we always thought it would be legal. We did. And why did we think it would be legal? Well, it's a thing that we all know. We've talked about many times. It's safer than alcohol. Of course it's safer than alcohol. And what's one of the ways you know it's safer than alcohol is this. We all have a friend in our network of friends. We all have this same friend. And we love them. But they have a character flaw. When they get to a certain level of drunk, they will punch a nun in the back of the head. They will call out cops. You better have a gun, motherfucker! We know this person. Still like them. You give that same person a joint, they won't get off the couch. World's a safer place. That's right. But you know, I never could have pictured what it has turned into. I couldn't have. Not these dispensaries and all this, you know, different ways, different variety. I always thought, I don't know about you, that just when it got legal, one day you would just walk into this really cool, nice head shop. And up on a really high shelf, there'd be a bunch of baggies. And on those baggies would be written in Sharpie, good, really good, kick your ass, call me Tuesday, night, night. You know, that's... I couldn't have pictured what we have now. Dispensaries, walk in, it's sterile, it's beautiful, it's lovely. I mean, the first time I walked into one of those places, I mean, here comes a guy walking at me with khaki pants and a powder blue nice shirt, little name tag. I'm assuming this is my medical marijuana sommelier. It's my bon cierge. I'm like, hey Rufus, how you doing? So I gotta ask you a question. This is my first time here. How many different kinds of pot you have in this place? He goes, well, in this particular dispensary, we have 27 different varieties of marijuana. I said, wow, I don't even know where to start. He goes, well, how and what do you want to use it for? I said, you're going to have to give me a minute with that question. Because I got to think of 27 distinctively different things. I don't want to leave anybody out. I don't discriminate, you know. And you walk in and the marijuana is, or whatever, something you eat, candy, I don't know what the fuck. All in these beautiful little jars, right? These beautiful little white jars. And all the information's on there. The family, you know, is it an indica? Is it sativa? Is it a hybrid? The attributes, the side effects, the THC level. I was looking through all the different ones, and you know, I found a side effect that was on almost every one of those 27 different varieties. Couch lock. Couch lock. You know what that means? When you smoke this shit, sit the fuck down. Get low. Get low. Because it might sit you the fuck down. Wow. That's some strong shit there, buddy. Holy mackerel. Yeah. And you know, now that we've got this legal somehow in about half the states, the United States, 26 states, right, of the United States. And as we all know, to our federal government, it's still a Schedule I narcotic. It is still in there with heroin. Heroin. Now let me tell you something. I know a lot of people who have done heroin. I do. And let me tell you something none of them have ever said to me. It's a lot like smoking pot. Nope. Seems it's way different. Yeah. 26 different states. We got it here, you know, and the shit's strong, man. You know, the THC, I looked at the THC level on those jars, and I looked it up. The average medical marijuana is 12 to 26% THC. Now, I had nothing to relate that to, so I Google searched. I was wondering what the Mexican dirt weed we smoked in the 70s. 2%. 2. The good shit, the Acapulco Gold, the Panama Red, the Maui Wowie, 5 to 7%. Pales in comparison to the lowest ebb of medical marijuana. Shit is strong, baby. Yes. Oh, and by the way, let me tell you something, how we handled 2% young people, or 2% marijuana. Here's how it went in the old days. You had a guy you got the shit from, and you bought a lid, 3 fingers, 3-finger lid, right? You get the lid, right? $15 lid. Well, everything in that lid ain't smokable. You gotta separate. You gotta do some cleaning. You gotta do some house cleaning. So you get in there first and you take all the stems out. And you save them because Chris Stapleton said we're supposed to. And then, that's what he said. And then you take the rest and you take a double album. Okay, young people, that's 2 albums in 2 covers. It opens up like this. And when it opens, you would take the pot and you pour it on one side. And then you take a baseball card and you sift it like this. And the seeds roll down in the middle. Yes, young people, pot had seeds. Seeds. Somewhere down the line, pot and watermelons, I don't know what happened. Seemed like at the same time. So, anyway, you sieved them up, seeds would go down into the little crack. As I'm saying this right now, everyone who did that can picture that album right now. You can, can't you? Was it the White Album? Mine was Grand Funk Railroad Live American Band. So you sift it out, you take the clean pot, you put it over here in your bag, you pour the seeds into another bag, and then when that bag of seeds got pretty big, on one stone night, you would go to your most conservative neighbor and sow them seeds. You know. That crop never came up. And then you would have your clean pot, pretty good amount. And then you would purchase a pack of Tops rolling papers. There is 100 rolling papers in a pack of Tops rolling papers. And you would roll your first joint Friday afternoon. And about 9 o'clock Sunday night, you'd go, fuck, we're out of papers. And somebody would go, did we smoke 100 joints in 2.5 days? And somebody would go, no, we use 2 papers a lot, probably only 60 or 70. But we smoked that many, you know, because it was 2%. Now the shit, like I said, it's so strong, man. 26 states legal, medical or recreational. We're Florida, we're medical, we're moving towards recreational. Hey, by the way, I gotta hip you out to this if you don't know this, by the way. Medical is recreational. Let me say that again. Medical is recreational. How do I know that? Well, how hard is it to get a medical marijuana card? $250. You sit down with your pot doc, and the doc looks at you and goes, so, Mr. McCurdy, why is it that you think you need medical marijuana? And I say, I'm having some anxiety about this conversation we're having right now. And that's making my leg hurt. And I'm gonna have trouble sleeping. And the doc said, you had me at anxiety. Have you got $250? And I said, sold! And this shit is so strong, so strong. Now, why would marijuana need to be that strong? I'm gonna tell you why. It's medical. Smoke is bad for you. So you need the least amount of smoke and get the desired effect. So this shit now is one hit wonder. And it is. You literally go. Okay. This has got to be like heroin. I need a couch. I think I am a couch. Hey, Bobby, have you punched a nun lately? All right, so I'll wrap it up. Now we're advertised drugs. Now we're the pusher man's right on television. My wife and I were watching mindless television a while back. A drug commercial comes on. And I paid attention to it because I'd never heard of it at the time. It was a drug called Lyrica. Lyrica. You may see it now. Lyrica. Lyrica is for nerve pain. Lyrica. It does not sound like something for nerve pain. Lyrica. Sounds like it would make you sing better. But it doesn't. Lyrica. So the commercial is the template that is most all drug commercials, which is, in the first 10 seconds, a prominent voice comes on and tells you the wonderful thing this drug is going to do for you. And then very quickly, an understated voice comes in and tells you all the horrible shit that it might do. If it doesn't do that. And then the end of the commercial, the prominent voice comes back on, tells you the wonderful shit again, boom, that's a commercial, right? Well, that was exactly what the Lyrica commercial was. And what I realized watching it and after it was that I don't pay any attention to the side effects. I don't think most people do. I know when I get a new prescription given to me by my doctor, right? I don't really pay attention to the side effects. I go get it. There's a bag, there's a piece of paper on it, I open it up, there's this big side effects, drug interactions. Do I read it? No. Do I call my doctor and discuss it with him? No. I just act like it's 1975. Take it and see what happens. So, in thinking about that, I got curious, and I thought, what the heck? Let's look up the side effects of Lyrica. So I Google searched it. Prominent website, medical website comes up. Go in there. There it was. Side effects of Lyrica. 68 side effects. We're not going through all of them, but I'm going to hit the highlights for you. The first little group was general aches and pains, soreness, headache, dizziness. Then there was the opposing ones, fever or chills. Loss of appetite, extreme hunger. Constipation, sing-along, diarrhea. Yes! Seizures or a coma. A coma. How's Bob doing? Pretty good as far as we can tell. He hadn't complained in weeks. It's amazing. But here is the side effect that made me write all this down. This is a side effect of Lyrica. A false sense of self-worth. A false sense of self-worth. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how I became successful. I shit you not. It was all I had. It was my false sense of self-worth. So, all right, you're on Lyrica. You wake up one morning. About the time you knock the cobwebs off, you think to yourself, damn, I don't just feel good today. I feel powerful. I feel connected. I feel a oneness with the universe. You can't trust that. You're on Lyrica. You could be in a deep, dark depression and not even realize it. You could be suicidal, which is a side effect of Lyrica. And all of that, I thought thinking about it, and it all hit me with all the different stuff and the false sense of self-worth, and something just struck me. I mean, it's epiphany. The entirety of U.S. Congress is on Lyrica. They can't help it. A false sense of self-worth.
Les McCurdy!